The story behind League of Legends, Episode 15, Mount Targon. Mount Targon is the mightiest peak in Runeterra, a towering peak of sun-baked rock amid a range of summits unmatched in scale anywhere else in the world. Located far from civilization, Mount Targon is utterly remote and all but impossible to reach save by the most determined seeker. Many legends cling to Mount Targon, and, like any place of myth, it is a beacon to dreamers, madmen and questers of adventure. Some of these brave souls attempt to scale the impossible mountain, perhaps seeking wisdom or enlightenment, perhaps chasing glory or some soul deep yearning to witness its summit. The ascent is all but impossible, and those hardy few who somehow survive to reach the top almost never speak of what they have seen. Some return with a haunted, empty look in their eyes, others changed beyond all recognition, imbued by an aspect of unearthly, inhuman power with a destiny few mortals can comprehend. Locations. Mount Targon is a mountain found in the northern part of North Valoran. It borders with Demacia and Rakkor. The currently well-known locations encompassing Mount Targon are, the Peak. Mount Targon is the mightiest peak in Runeterra, a towering mountain of sun-baked rock amid a range of summits unmatched in scale anywhere else in the world. Located far from civilization, Mount Targon is utterly remote and all but impossible to reach save by the most determined seeker. The Lunari Temple. Located in the secluded footholds of the mountain, it was the place where most Lunari artifacts were kept safe from the Solari Inquisition and where Diana faced the oppressing Solari elders. The Rakkor tribe. The main settlement of Mount Targon, Rakkor are a warrior-like society that devote their life to the pursuit of battle and knowledge. Pantheon and Ionia come from this tribe. The Solari Temple. The Solari Temple was a towering citadel on the eastern slopes of Mount Targon, a glittering spire of gold-veined marble and polished granite. Here, Ionia learned the ways of the sacred order, how they worshipped the sun as the source of all life and rejected all other forms of light as false. The Silver City. A glimpse of an celestial city has been sighted at the very peak of Mount Targon. It is here that both Ionia and Diana were imbued with the celestial powers of the sun and the moon, as where arduous ascended only to be replaced by the celestial aspect of war known as Pantheon. Culture. Mount Targon is the mightiest peak in Runeterra, a towering mountain of sun-baked rock amid a range of summits unmatched in scale anywhere else in the world. Located far from civilization, Mount Targon is utterly remote and all but impossible to reach save by the most determined seeker. Many legends cling to Mount Targon, ranging from tales of blazing warriors imbued with incredible powers falling from the sky to battle monsters, to fantastical tales of gods and their celestial abodes crashing down to form the mountain. Some legends even go so far as to claim the mountain itself is a sleeping titan of antiquity. Like any place of myth, Mount Targon is a beacon to dreamers, madmen and questers of adventure. Those who survive the arduous journey to the foot of the Titanic mountain are welcomed as fellow pilgrims by the scattered, tribal communities that have set up nomadic camps around its base. Here the weary traveler learns of the tribes, such as the Rakkor, who have endured the harsh climate and unforgiving lands around the mountain for millennia. These people are united in their belief that living in the shadow of these cyclopean structures of monumental scale is a true calling of mysterious powers. The origin and purpose of these structures, if such things ever had one, remain a mystery, for mortals can never truly know the minds of the structure's lost creators. Many faiths find root around the mountain, but all are beholden to the Solari, a sun-worshipping faith whose tenets dominate the land. The Solari High Temple sits on the eastern slope of the mountain, reachable only by crossing swaying rope bridges over abyssal canyons, climbing winding stairs weathered into the living rock and traversing whisper-thin ledges cut upon sheer cliffs carved with ancient symbols and vast effigies. Some brave souls attempt to scale the impossible mountain, perhaps seeking wisdom or enlightenment, perhaps chasing glory or some soul deep yearning to see its summit. The dwellers at the peak's base cheer as these brave souls begin their ascent, knowing the mountain will find the vast majority of them unworthy. And to be judged unworthy by Mount Targon is to die. The mountain's sheer flanks and the treacherous conditions of its high slopes make it incredibly difficult to climb. Its rocks are littered with the contorted bodies of those who have made the attempt and failed. The ascent is all but impossible, a grueling test of every facet of a climber's strength, character, resolve, willpower and determination. Some climbers ascend for weeks or months, others for only a day, for the mountain is inconstant and ever-changing. And even for those hardy few who somehow survive to reach the top, the testing is not over. Some who claw their way to the summit do so only to find it utterly empty, an abandoned expanse of ruins and faded carvings beyond human understanding. For unknowable reasons, the mountain has found the climber's soul lacking. For a handful of others, however, the summit is said to be veiled in a cascade of shimmering light, through which wonders and far distant vistas can be glimpsed, the bewildering, tantalizing visions of a mythical domain beyond. Despite attaining their goal of reaching the summit, most fail this last test, turning away in fear from this inhuman realm. Of the rare few who press on, most never return, while others may reappear minutes, years or even centuries later. Only one thing is certain, those who return are changed beyond all recognition. Government. The Rakkor. Eking a living from mountain plants and their precious herbs, the Rakkor tribe dwells at the very limits of human endurance, honing their warrior skills to fight the war at the end of the world. Rakkor means tribe of the last sun, and its people believe that many worlds have existed before this one, each of which has been destroyed by a great catastrophe. Its seers teach that when the sun is destroyed there will be no more, so its warriors must be ready to fight those who seek to extinguish its light. To the Rakkor, battle is an act of devotion, an offering to keep the sun's light shining. All members of the tribe are expected to fight and kill without mercy or hesitation. Rakkor warriors are trained not only to be as lethal with their bare hands as the most capable martial artists, but also to fiercely wield the many relic weapons of the tribe. The stone-faced warrior pantheon, the artisan of war, is considered the paragon of his people. The Solari. Rather than a pursuit of war, Mount Targon's peak is reserved for a special group of Rakkor who answer to a higher calling. Members of this group, the Solari, laid down their weapons for the pursuit of celestial knowledges. The warrior order of the Solari, the Rakkor, a Rakkor title which means followers of the horizon, honed their already fearsome skills with a blade into something sublime. According to legend, the Solari were formed by a warrior who could call the raw might of the sun down upon his enemies in combat. He claimed Mount Targon's summit, the point on Valoran closest to the sun, for his solar devotion, a tradition which generations of Solari have preserved to this day. Though they maintain their reverence, no other warrior possessed the gifts of the founder until Leona, the Radiant Dawn. The Solari elders claimed Leona from the Rakkor tribe and assisted in focusing her abilities. With her pursuit of the heretic Diana at the very peak of Mount Targon, she was imbued by terrifying power and forgotten knowledge from the earliest epochs of the world. Her armor and weapons burned to ash in the cosmic fire and were in turn reborn as ornate warplate, a shield of sunlight wrought in gold and a sword of chained dawnlight. The Lunari. The Solari elders taught that all light came from the sun, and that the light of the moon was false, offering no nourishment and crafting shadows in which only creatures of darkness found succor. Diana's inquisitive nature set her apart from her brethren. She had always found solace and guidance in the night sky, and questioned the dominance of the sun in her society. The Solari elders responded to her challenges with only derision and punishment. Diana remained convinced, however, that if she could find evidence of the moon's power, the elders would listen to reason. For years, she studied Solari archives in solitude until she discovered an encoded message hidden in an old tome. Diana learned of an all but extinct group known as the Lunari, whose faith saw the moon as a source of life and balance. From what Diana could glean from the fragmentary texts, the Lunari spoke of the eternal cycle night and day, sun and moon as essential for universal harmony. After her empowering experience at the peak of Mount Targon, she stumbled at an old cave where she unearthed the hidden entrance to an ancient, sealed temple. Inside, among aging relics and faded murals, she found an ornate suit of armor and a beautiful crescent blade, both inscribed with sigils of the moon. As soon as she donned the armaments, the Solari elders cornered her that night. She declared that the artifacts proved others had once worshipped the moon as she did. Her discovery of evidence challenging Solari dominion shocked the elders. To Diana's horror, they pronounced her a heretic and condemned her to death. As the elders prepared her for execution, Diana's anger and sorrow overwhelmed her desire for acceptance. She lifted her gaze to the sky, calling upon the moon for strength. Lunar power surged within her and she shattered her bindings. Raising her relic blade, she turned and slaughtered the elders. Hunted by the warriors of the Rakkor, Diana now seeks to piece together the fragmentary memories of the Lunari hidden within her mind. Driven by half-remembered truths and glimpses of ancient knowledge, Diana has only one truth to cling to, that the Lunari and the Solari need not be foes, that there is a greater destiny for her than that of a simple warrior. What her destiny might be is unknown, but Diana will find it, whatever the cost. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share video and subscribe us channel.